All right, good morning, guys. We're in the shop here, and we are basically what we're doing, we're trying to put this tractor back together. This is the last of our mowing tractor. We don't have any more. I kept this one, I sold the other ones off, but we got doors for it, and we got side protectors, but I don't run the doors real often anymore because we don't do that nastiest stuff. We just mow grass. And the side covers, I'm not going to run them. I got them out back, but they're just kind of aggravating. If you want to blow the radiators and stuff out, you got to unbolt them. And again, we don't do anything that nasty anymore, so we don't need them. But I do like my skid plate being on there. And I had to take it off because we had some problems with the fuel on this unit, and I can't get into the fuel line that goes up underneath the tank right here. I can't get to that unless I drop the tank, or drop the skid plate. And at this very moment, I'm contemplating on whether or not I need to go ahead and put me a door in right there, and that way if I do need to get into it again, I can. And to be honest, I think I got it pretty much cleaned out, but we'll see. So what we're doing right now is this thing works as an exoskeleton as well as a skid plate. Anybody that knows anything about the E model tractors, they know that they do not have a subframe inside of these. What holds them together is basically they bolt the engine to the transmission, and the transmission goes to the differential rear ends, and so on. This tractor did have a loader on it, and it came with a loader package whenever it was bought. So it does have the loader masses. And we actually attached, my brother, he's a heck of a fabricator, he actually made these apparatuses that we took these off and took them up to a local machine shop up in Ona, and they milled them out and drilled them and tapped them for us. And that actually supports the cage. And then, of course, we've got the limb risers that come down, and that attaches to the front bumper. Front bumper's attached in here. So it's really a support system for the whole tractor. Now, the skid plate itself attaches these 2 points back here. This attaches to the rear end, to the tractor rear axle. That actually works as a cam. It attaches to the side of the side of the rear end, and then this attaches up through the bottom to the drawbar. So that acts as like a cam to where it can't flex. These 2 points attach to the transmission, and then these 2 points attach up here to the front of the engine, and then this attaches to the front bumper, the winch bumper. It does have a small hydraulic winch. It's really not big enough for what I actually broke the cable the last time we got it stuck. The winch ain't big enough to pull the tractor out. It stalls out sometimes, but I'm not investing any more money. I had another tractor that I built, and it had a 20,000 pound hydraulic winch. Now it would pull. So what we're doing right now is, and these are some of the attachments. This is a mounting bracket that I built years ago that ties everything together. We can take everything off of this tractor. I can unbolt everything, and this thing will look like a normal farm tractor in no time, and you'll never even know that it was ever in the brush. Nothing's permanently welded. Nothing's been modified. It's just a normal tractor with just a brush cage on it to where you don't get your head beat off when you're mowing brush. It does need a set of front tires on. Them tires has got about 1,200 hours, I think, or so. We don't run the tractor all that much. You see right there, she was changed 1,150 hours, October the 7th of 2020. And I think I looked on it a minute ago. I think it's got 1,200 and some hours on it. So we don't run it very much at all. About 100 hours a year is about all we put on it. So, but it's handy to have. They're good tractors. This here is an exhaust. That's a stack protector. When you're driving down through there, a limb can get a hold of your exhaust stack and yank it off. Well, this thing right here deflects all that to where we don't have that issue. I kind of come up with that. I come up with that on my own one night, and it seems to work. Great. So, all right, folks. Let's. I got the skid plate, and I had to straighten it out where we got it hooked onto a stump and bent it. I got him all beat down and straightened out. I'm gonna see if I feel like going ahead and cutting a hole in it and making a door to where if I do need to get into the fuel tank, I can. But we'll see what I come up with in a minute. All right. So I got up underneath there, and I got to looking, and I remember now there used to be a check valve in there, and the check valve wouldn't allow me to blow air back down in my tank. So I remember the last time that I had to drop the belly pan and all this stuff, that I took that check valve out. I was going to replace it and put another check valve in it, and never did. So I need to order that. So I don't have to cut a hole in the pan to be able to access that fuel intake tube and all that. So I got it straightened up enough, got up underneath there. I got a few things knick-knack bent, but I'll be all right. I mean, it'll go back together. It should go back together, no problems. I found my bolts. So got the air pumped up in the tire. We're getting ready to roll this thing forward onto the pan, and we got to get our jacks and jack him up to reattach him to the tractor. And I mean, a million times over, I should cut panels out of this thing so I can clean the stuff out from underneath this pan because it gets full. But I just don't feel like fooling with it. We don't do as much with it as we used to. So once a year or twice a year, I got to drop the pan and clean the pan out. It'll be all right. So let's get to it. The old tractor, like you say, it ain't got no arrows on it. But you get a really good old tractor. Jack stand. Jack's got to get them slid up underneath it, raise him up. I was going to try to use the hoist, and I can't really figure out a way to do it without doing a whole bunch of other stuff. So we're just going to slide some jack stands up underneath it and get to it. Over a year, about a year. I actually don't remember what I did pull it off. I think I pulled it off. We pulled it off whenever we had the problem with the sensor, and I had to take it up to River Bend and have them guys work on the emissions. I remember. getting the jacks up underneath it by yourself. Sometimes you can get a bar and slide up underneath it. Once you get them started, it ain't too bad. A little bit of a pain in the hind end. Once you start getting it up there, it don't take very long. It'll start get centered. Getting centered up there, it just about falls into place. That's kind of typically how we kind of do it. I'll bring you around here and let you see in a second. Getting kind of squared up. It only goes one way. The back end probably about to work. It's got those fingers that go up. It's got these fingers that go up and attach to the rear end. And I think it needs to go back. We're going to be pretty close. I'll get you around here and let you see what I'm doing. Probably got to edit a bunch of this out. But We got these two here. There's two on the bottom. But you can kind of see it's getting close. I get down in here and I get all around the bottom of it there and see if I can't see what's fouling us up. I know it's this back end back in here. All right, after a few minutes of torture, I finally got the back end tightened up and done. You can see how it attaches to the back of the drawbar, and then I don't think you guys can see in there, but I'll try to remember to show you. But right here, I welded these little tubing pockets that protects the head of the bolt in case. You can see up there where they took a little bit of beating. And this is in the transmission bracket here. And we'll get these two put in, get these two tightened up, and then we'll move on forward with getting everything attached up there and up there. Well, we got her all finished up. I put a little bit of spray paint on him just because she was looking a little rusty there, so we sprayed a little bit of flat black Cure-All Rust-Oleum on it. I got me some D-rings. I welded them on each side. That way whenever I haul this thing on my trailer, it was always kind of, you had a good D-ring on the front, but the sides of it was always a pain in the hind end to chain down, and if you just hooked into the pan, it just didn't really suit me, so I put some D-rings on the side of him. We got him all hooked up and cleaned up, bolted in good and tight. I put a piece of angle up here on the front. Flat bar to kind of deter anything from sliding in between. It's still got a little bit of a gap up there where she's been bent, but if I ain't mistaken, I think that was bent a while ago. Probably should have put some paint on that, but I'll get it later. There's the front D-ring. Let me put this one on this side. Got this one on this side now. So we got one on both sides to tie her down with, and I think that'll really help us. I remember noticing that 10,000 times whenever I was chaining it down on the trailer. I was like, man, it'd be so much easier if I had some D-rings on the side of this thing. Then I could just run a chain through the side. That's the only ones I had. Didn't need to be that daggone big, but that's the only ones I had, so that's what we used. But all in all, she's ready for mowing season. So we're gonna leave a side cover. Side shields we're gonna leave them off of it. We're gonna leave the doors off of it for a while. If we get into some heavy mowing again, we may put them back on, but otherwise, we're just gonna leave her just like that. It's good enough to mow grass with. So, thanks guys for tuning in. Enjoy your weekend.